You think you're in control of your life. But let me tell you something that's going to sound uncomfortable. You're not. Your body is running the show. Every morning you wake up and become the same person you were yesterday. Same thoughts, same emotions, same choices. You've memorized yourself so well that your body has become your mind. And here's the kicker. You don't even realize you're a prisoner. The cell door is open, but you keep walking back in, and let me paint a picture. You wake up. Before your eyes open, your body already knows the routine. Reach for the phone, check messages, feel that familiar anxiety creeping in. You shuffle to the bathroom, same mirror, same face looking back at you. And in that face, you see yesterday, and the day before, and the day before that. You drive to work, the same route. You sit at the same desk, you have the same conversations, you feel the same frustrations, and by the time you collapse into bed at night, you've lived the exact same day you lived 1,000 times before. Here's what nobody tells you. You're not lazy. You're not unmotivated. You're not broken. You are conditioned. Your body has become so addicted to the familiar emotions, stress, worry, anxiety, maybe even sadness, that it actually craves them. It's like your body wakes up and says, "Where's my hit of stress? I need my daily dose of anxiety to feel normal." Does this sound familiar? That feeling when something good happens but you can't fully enjoy it because you're waiting for the other shoe to drop? That's not pessimism. That's your body trying to return you to emotional homeostasis, to the familiar, to the prison you know. So why does this happen? Let me explain the 3 invisible chains that keep you locked in the past. I call them the big 3. Environment, body, time. Let's start with environment. Most people wait for their environment to change before they change. They say, "When I get a new job, I'll be happy. When I meet the right person, I'll be confident. When I have more money, I'll feel abundant." But here's the problem with that. You're letting your outer world control your inner world. You're giving your power to circumstance, and the quantum field doesn't respond to what you're waiting for. It responds to what you're being right now. Second chain, the body. Here's something radical that neuroscience has shown us. Your body is your unconscious mind. Every time you react emotionally to something, you're creating a chemical signature in your body. Feel stressed? Your body releases cortisol. Feel anxious? Adrenaline floods your system. And here's where it gets interesting. Do this enough times and your body becomes addicted to those chemicals. It starts to crave them. So now your body is literally running a program that seeks out situations to feel stressed, to feel anxious, to feel whatever emotion has become your baseline. Think about this. Have you ever noticed that even when things are going well, you find something to worry about? That's not you being paranoid. That's your body demanding its chemical fix. It's like an addict that needs a hit. Your body has memorized anxiety so well that it doesn't feel normal without it. And the third chain, time. This is the big one. Most people are living in the past or the future, but never the present. You wake up and immediately your mind goes to yesterday's problems or tomorrow's fears. You're eating breakfast but thinking about the meeting at 10. You're in the shower but replaying yesterday's argument. Where are you actually? Nowhere. You're scattered across time like fragments of yourself, never fully present, never fully here. And here's the stunning part about time. When you're living in the past or obsessing about the future, you're collapsing the same reality over and over again, because the quantum field only responds to the present moment. That's where all possibility exists. But if you're never present, you're never actually creating. You're just recycling. You're taking your past and projecting it into your future and calling it tomorrow. So here's my question for you. If your environment controls you, your body is running unconscious programs and you're never actually present, are you living? Or are you just existing on autopilot? Let me tell you about the predictable future. It's the future most people are creating without even knowing it. And it's not created by what you want. It's created by what you've been. Here's how it works. Every morning you wake up as the same personality. Personality is made up of how you think, how you feel, and how you act. Most people think the same thoughts, which leads to the same choices, which leads to the same behaviors, which creates the same experiences, which produces the same emotions. And those same emotions drive the same thoughts. It's a loop, a closed circuit, and you're stuck inside it. Let me give you an example. You have a presentation coming up in 2 weeks. It's in front of 350 people. The moment you think about it, what happens? Your heart starts racing, your palms sweat, your stomach tightens. Why? Because your body is remembering the last time you did this. Maybe you stumbled on your words, maybe you forgot a key point, maybe you saw someone in the audience looking bored, and your body says, "Oh, I remember this. We failed at this before." So now, 2 weeks before the event, your body is already living in that future failure. It's conditioning itself to expect the worst. And by the time you actually step on that stage, guess what? Your body has rehearsed failure so many times that it executes it perfectly. You create the exact future you were afraid of. Not because the universe is cruel, but because you trained your body to expect it. This is what I mean by the predictable future. You're not creating something new, you're just replaying your past with different scenery. But here's where it gets interesting. Here's the part that changes everything. What if you could do the opposite? What if instead of conditioning your body to expect failure, you conditioned it to expect success? What if you could live in the future you want so completely, so vividly that your body starts to believe it's already happened? Because here's what neuroscience tells us. Your brain doesn't know the difference between a real experience and one you imagine with enough emotional intensity. Think about that. If you close your eyes and vividly imagine biting into a lemon, your mouth starts to water. Your body responds. The lemon isn't real, but your body doesn't know that. So if your body can't tell the difference between what's happening and what you're imagining, what does that mean for your future? Yesterday, we talked about survival mode versus creation mode, how most people are stuck living in stress, reacting to their environment. Today, I showed you the 3 specific chains keeping you there: environment, body, and time. But here's what I haven't told you yet: the actual biological process of breaking those chains. What happens in your brain when you make that shift? That's coming next. Ready to go deeper? Because this next part is where everything shifts. Let me explain something that's going to sound mystical but is actually quantum physics. You are living inside a quantum field right now. A field that is infinite in possibility. A field that responds not to your effort but to your alignment. Not to what you're doing but to who you're being. The quantum field, some call it the unified field, the zero-point field. It's the invisible fabric of reality where all possibilities exist simultaneously. Every potential version of your future is already there. The successful you, the abundant you, the healthy you, the confident you. They all exist as possibilities, as potentials, waiting to collapse into your reality. But here's the thing. The quantum field doesn't collapse into form because you want it to. It collapses because you match its frequency. Think of it like a radio. There are hundreds of stations broadcasting right now through the air around you. You can't see them, you can't hear them, but they're there. And the only reason you hear a specific station is because your radio is tuned to that frequency. Your body is the radio, your thoughts and emotions are the tuning dial. And the quantum field is broadcasting infinite stations, infinite possibilities right now. Most people are tuned to the frequency of their past. They wake up, feel the familiar emotions, think the familiar thoughts, and broadcast the same signal they've been broadcasting for years. And the field responds by giving them more of the same. Not because it's cruel, but because it's precise. It's giving you exactly what you're asking for, based on your frequency, not your wishes. So here's the radical shift. To create a new future, you have to become someone new now. Not tomorrow, not when circumstances change, now. You have to think new thoughts, feel new emotions, take new actions. You have to tune your radio to a different station before you can hear different music. Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about this. Bruce Lipton talks about this. The observer effect in quantum physics proves this. The act of observing collapses the wave of possibility into a particle of reality. Your attention, your focus, your emotional state, these are the tools of observation. And what you observe consistently becomes your reality. Let me give you a metaphor. Imagine you're standing in a dark room. The room is filled with furniture, doors, pathways, but you can't see any of it. Now someone hands you a flashlight. Where you point that flashlight determines what becomes visible, what becomes real to you. The furniture doesn't appear because of the flashlight. It was always there. But your attention makes it visible, makes it real. Your consciousness is the flashlight. The quantum field is the dark room filled with infinite possibilities. And where you consistently point your attention, that's what becomes your reality. So here's my question for you. Where are you pointing your flashlight? Are you illuminating your past? Are you shining it on your fears? Or are you pointing it toward the future you actually want? Because the field is always listening. It's always responding. Not to what you say you want, not to what you wish for when you're desperate, but to the frequency you're broadcasting moment to moment, day after day. Your focus, your attention, your emotion, they are the sculptors of reality. And right now, you're sculpting something. The question is, what? Are you ready to take control of the chisel? So how do you actually do this? How do you program your body to live in a new future instead of recycling the past? Let me break it down. There are two ways people program their bodies to live in the future. One keeps you stuck, one sets you free. The first way, the way most people do it unconsciously, is through stress and fear. You think about something you don't want. Your body reacts with emotion, anxiety, worry, dread. And if you do this repeatedly, your body starts to memorize that emotional state. It becomes your baseline. Your body is literally living in a future of lack, of failure, of problems before any of it has actually happened. Remember the presentation example. That's this, your body rehearsing failure, conditioning itself to expect the worst and then creating it. The second way, the conscious way, the powerful way, is through elevated emotion and clear intention. You think about the future you want, not from a place of lack or desperation, but from a place of already having it. You close your eyes and you see it, feel it, taste it. You let your body experience the emotions of that future reality. Joy, gratitude, freedom, confidence, whatever that future version of you would feel. And here's the stunning part. When you do this with enough intensity, your body can't tell the difference between the imagined experience and a real one. Your body starts producing the same chemicals, the same hormones, the same neural patterns as if the event already happened. You're literally conditioning your body to live in a new future. Let me give you a real example. Dr. Dispenza shares a story about his daughter. She wanted a summer job in Italy. She didn't just hope for it. She didn't just visualize the job posting. She lived it. Every day she would close her eyes and feel what it would be like to walk the streets of Italy, to speak the language, to wake up in that reality. She felt the emotions, the excitement, the gratitude, the freedom. Her body believed it had already happened. 3 months later, completely out of the blue, she received an offer for exactly that job, in Italy for the summer. Now, was that luck? Was that coincidence? Or did she collapse a possibility from the quantum field by matching its frequency? This is what I mean by living in the future now. You're not waiting for circumstances to give you permission to feel abundant, confident, successful, free. You're generating those emotions now, independent of circumstance. And in doing so, you're signaling the field. You're saying, this is who I am. This is my frequency. And the field responds. Think about the times in your life when something came to you effortlessly. Maybe you were thinking about someone and they called. Maybe you needed something and it showed up out of nowhere. What was your state in those moments? I'll bet you weren't desperate. You weren't anxious. You were probably in a state of ease, of flow, of alignment. That's coherence. That's when your mind and body are unified, when there's no contradiction between what you're thinking and what you're feeling. And in that state of coherence, you become a magnet, not because you're trying harder, but because you're broadcasting a clear signal. The quantum field can respond to clarity. It can't respond to mixed signals, wanting abundance but feeling lack, desiring love but expecting rejection. So here's the practice. Every day you take time to become no one, no body, no thing in no time. You let go of your past identity, and you step into your future self. You think from that place, feel from that place, and your body starts to believe it's already living there. So what does this look like in practice? Let me show you the radical shift that changes everything. Most people live their lives in survival mode. They wake up and immediately start thinking about their problems, their to-do list, their stress, their lack. And when you're in survival mode, you're running on stress hormones. You're living in the past and the predictable future. Your body is the master, your mind is the servant. But there's another state, a state where the environment disappears, where your body disappears, where time disappears. It's called the flow state. And it's not reserved for athletes or artists or mystics. It's available to you right now. Think about a time when you were so absorbed in something that you lost track of time. Maybe you were creating something. Maybe you were in deep conversation. Maybe you were solving a problem. Hours passed, but it felt like minutes. You weren't thinking about your body. You weren't worried about your environment. You were just present. Completely here in the now. That's flow. That's the state where the big three, environment, body, time, become irrelevant. And in that state, you're pure consciousness. You're no longer the personality you've memorized. You're possibility itself. Here's what neuroscience shows us about flow states. Your brainwaves shift. You move from beta, the analytical, thinking, stressed state, into alpha and theta. These are the brainwave states of deep relaxation, meditation, creativity. In these states, the thinking mind quiets down, the subconscious opens up, and you have access to information, insights, and possibilities that your analytical mind could never reach. Athletes call it the zone. Artists call it the muse. Spiritual traditions call it enlightenment. But it's all the same thing, a state where you transcend your limited self and tap into something greater. The unified field, the quantum field, infinite intelligence. And here's the thing most people don't realize. You don't have to wait for flow to happen randomly. You can create it intentionally, through meditation, through breath work, through focused attention and elevated emotion. Let me walk you through what this looks like. You sit down, you close your eyes, you take a few deep breaths, and instead of thinking about your day, instead of rehearsing your problems, you let it all go. You become no one. You forget your name, your age, your job, your problems. You surrender your identity. And in that space of emptiness, you ask yourself, who do I want to become? What would my future self think? How would they feel? What energy would they carry? And you step into that. You don't visualize it as something out there in the future. You embody it now. You become it now. Your body starts to respond. Maybe you feel warmth. Maybe you feel lightness. Maybe you feel a sense of expansion. That's not woo-woo. That's your autonomic nervous system shifting. Your body is moving from survival mode into creation mode, from stress hormones to anabolic hormones, from breakdown to building up. And in this state, you're no longer sending the same signal you've been sending for years. You're broadcasting a new frequency, a new electromagnetic signature. And the quantum field, which is always listening, always responding, starts to rearrange itself around your new signal. This is not positive thinking. This is not affirmations. This is biological transformation. This is reprogramming the body at the cellular level. This is teaching your genes to express differently. This is coherence. Mind and body unified, thought and feeling matched. And when you're coherent, you don't have to chase your future. Your future starts chasing you. So here's my question. Are you willing to sit in that space, to become no one so you can become someone new? Now let me tell you where most people fail. Because knowing the theory is easy. Applying it consistently, that's where the real work is. The first mistake, people try to force the outcome. They sit down to meditate or visualize and they're gripping the steering wheel with white knuckles. They're saying, I need this to work. I need this to happen. I need this now. That's not creation, that's desperation. And desperation broadcasts lack. It says, I don't have it. I'm separate from it. Please give it to me. The field can't respond to that frequency because the signal itself contains the opposite of what you're asking for. True manifestation requires surrender. Not surrender as in giving up. Surrender as in letting go of control, trusting that the field knows. how to deliver what you're asking for better than your limited mind ever could. You plant the seed, you water it with emotion, and then you let it grow. You don't dig it up every day to check if it's working. Second mistake. People do this once and expect miracles. Let me be clear. One meditation won't change your life. One visualization won't collapse a new timeline. Why? Because you've been conditioning your body to live in the old reality for decades. Your neural pathways are carved deep. Your emotional patterns are memorized. Your body's chemical addiction is strong. One session is like trying to redirect a river with your hands. You need repetition. You need consistency. You need to train your body like you'd train for a marathon. How long does it take to recondition the body? Dr. Dispenza says if you do this practice deeply for just 1 hour a day, you can start to see measurable changes in 4 to 6 weeks. Neural pathways begin to prune. New circuits start to wire. Gene expression shifts. But here's the thing. Most people quit after a week. They don't see results and they go back to their old patterns. They trade long-term transformation for short-term comfort. Third mistake. People wait for their external reality to change before they change their internal state. This is backwards. Remember, the quantum field responds to who you're being, not what you're seeing. If you wake up every morning, look at your current circumstances and let those circumstances determine your emotional state, you're letting the past control your future. You're a victim. You're giving your power away. The breakthrough happens when you reverse this, when you decide that no matter what your current reality looks like, you're going to feel the emotions of your desired reality. You're going to think the thoughts of your future self. You're going to broadcast the signal of who you're becoming, independent of evidence. That's faith, not religious faith, quantum faith, trusting that the unseen is more real than the seen. Let me give you an example. Let's say you want financial abundance, but your bank account is empty. Most people look at the empty account and feel lack, feel stress, feel fear, and that emotional state broadcasts more lack. But what if you did the opposite? What if you looked at the empty account and chose to feel abundant anyway? Not by lying to yourself, but by connecting to the feeling of abundance that already exists in the quantum field. By tuning to that frequency, would that be delusional or would that be creation? Here's the truth that nobody talks about. The physical reality you see is the past. It's the result of who you've been. It's the manifestation of yesterday's frequency. If you keep reacting to it, you keep creating more of the same. But the moment you stop letting the past define you, the moment you stop needing the outer world to change before you change, that's when you become free. That's when you become a true creator. So let me paint you a picture. Imagine waking up tomorrow, but this time, it's different. Your eyes open and instead of reaching for your phone, instead of that automatic anxiety creeping in, you feel calm, centered, excited even, not because something external has changed, but because you have. You get out of bed and you realize your body isn't craving stress. It's not hunting for problems. It's expecting something good because you've reconditioned it. You've taught it a new baseline, and now it's waking up in alignment with your future, not your past. You look in the mirror and instead of seeing yesterday's version of yourself, you see potential. You see possibility. You see someone who is becoming. And that reflection doesn't judge you. It inspires you. You move through your day and notice something strange. Opportunities you never saw before suddenly appear. People respond to you differently. Coincidences multiply. Is the world different? Number. You're different. Your frequency has changed, and you're now attracting experiences that match your new signal. This isn't fantasy. This is the natural result of coherence. When your thoughts and feelings align, when your mind and body are unified, you become an electromagnetic powerhouse. You're broadcasting a clear, strong signal into the quantum field, and the field has no choice but to respond. Think about what this means for every area of your life, your relationships. Instead of attracting people who mirror your old wounds, you start attracting people who reflect your new state, your work. Instead of struggling and forcing, you start to experience synchronicity. Doors open, ideas flow, things that used to be hard become effortless. Your health. Your body starts to repair itself because it's no longer living in survival mode. It's no longer flooded with stress hormones 24/7. Your immune system strengthens, your energy increases, you start to feel younger, lighter, more alive. Your abundance. Money starts to flow more easily, not because you're working harder, but because you've changed your relationship to it. You're no longer broadcasting lack. You're no longer coming from desperation. You're magnetic, and magnetism doesn't chase, it attracts. But here's the most profound shift. You stop living for the destination. You stop waiting for the day when everything finally comes together. Because you realize that the future you were chasing has already arrived. It's here, now, in the frequency you're holding, in the emotions you're embodying, in the thoughts you're thinking. You become someone who lives in the present moment, but carries the energy of the future. You're here, but you're creating from there, and that paradox, that beautiful, powerful paradox is the secret. That's how you collapse time. That's how you bend reality. That's how you become the author of your own life instead of a character in someone else's story. Imagine going to bed at night and feeling complete. Not because you accomplished everything on your to-do list, but because you know, deep in your bones, that you are different today than you were yesterday. You're evolving, you're expanding, you're becoming. And that future you've been dreaming about, it's not out there somewhere. It's inside you. It's been there all along, waiting for you to match its frequency, waiting for you to believe, waiting for you to surrender the past and step into the unknown. This is who you really are, not the personality you've memorized, not the limitations you've accepted, not the story you've been telling yourself for years. You are consciousness itself. You are possibility. You are infinite. And speaking of that shift, tomorrow I'm taking you inside what actually happens in your brain and body when you go from survival to creation. We talked about it conceptually yesterday. We identified the chains today. Tomorrow we're looking at the neuroscience, how your frontal lobe lights up, how energy moves from your lower centers up to your brain, how you literally free yourself biologically, how the old personality gets dismantled at the cellular level. It's the missing piece that makes everything we covered today actually work. And the moment you truly realize that, the moment you embody that, everything changes. Not because the world changed, but because you became new. So here's my question for you. Are you ready? Are you ready to stop being a victim of your past and become the creator of your future? Are you ready to break free from the invisible chains of environment, body, and time? Because everything I've shared with you today, it's not theory, it's not philosophy, it's practical neuroscience, it's quantum physics, and most importantly, it works, but only if you do. You now know what most people will never understand. You know that the quantum field exists. You know that your thoughts and emotions are creative tools. You know that your body can be reconditioned. You know that you don't have to wait for permission from the outside world to change your internal state. The question is, what are you going to do with this knowledge? If you're feeling that spark right now, if something inside you is saying, yes, this is it, this is what I've been looking for, don't let that moment pass. Hit that subscribe button, not for me, for you. Because this journey requires commitment. It requires showing up every single day and choosing to become someone new. Drop one word in the comments, just one word that captures the energy you're feeling right now, that captures who you're becoming. Let that word be your declaration, your promise to yourself, your signal to the field. And if you're ready to go even deeper, if you want to learn the specific practices, the exact meditations, the step-by-step process of reconditioning your body and mind, stay tuned. Because this conversation is just beginning. You are not here by accident. This message found you because some part of you, some deeper, wiser part knew it was time. Time to break free, time to become new, time to create the future that's been waiting for you. Welcome to the shift. Let's do this together.